All right, here we are with the third attempt. I actually think it was good it happened because we haven't had this happen in the shop. So I'm going to put the wire behind, and I'm going to really try to use my fingers to crimp this nice and tight around. And now that I have, I'm going to use this wire, and I want wire on wire contact. I want to do 3 loops. Now I'm not worried about this little tail right now. So once you got to this step, you want to move forward. There's my tick mark there. So I'm going to kind of just hold it in my hand and put some light tension on it. And I'm going to take that time to pull out any bends that I see. Now's the time. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Nice, nice crimps. Now, I am going to need those channel locks, because one step that I did find was helpful was to kind of crimp on your square joints as you were doing this. It keeps the wire from rounding out behind the frame. Just a little light crimp really makes the wire conform to those right angles of the steel. And so now I've got to pull my wire, and we're going to want metal to metal contact here on the wire that when we're looping up. So we're going to go up and over. We'll pull our wire through, and there we go. A nice tight joint. We're going to go to the next intersection and do the same thing. I'm kind of eyeballing it to pull out little, waves in the line. We want it straight as possible. And the reason why you want to pull these little waves out is because you would think that they would come out when you put tension on the wire, but they won't. Not as much as you might think. So try to do your best. Okay, I'm going to put my channel locks in 0 position. Now's the time to give this a nice little tug. Remember, every time you tug on the wire, this is one I've learned, you actually stretch the wire as well. And so if you're not careful, then you could eventually snap the wire like you saw in the first video. So again, I'm just going to kind of squeeze, give it that little crimp. You don't have to do this step, so I don't think that if you didn't have the ability to do this, you'd be unsuccessful. I just found that it helped a little to keep nice and tight here between the joints. Okay, so hopefully we're moving on to our next joint, and oh beauty, look at that, we got like 9 inches. We definitely went
perfect,
more than what we needed there, so that's good. This wire is very inexpensive, so there's no need to cut short pieces to try to save wire. And so now this is the last one. I'm going to go back to 0 position. I'm going to grab my channel locks, use the head of this channel lock on this frame to kind of rock and pull. Nice and tight, but not too tight because I don't want to stretch the wire. And we repeat the process. Bring these channel locks down a little bit so that I could do some crimping. See how I crimped that bubble out? That's kind of what I wanted you to see. Crimp that little bubble out behind. And finally this one back here. This is back to 0, and I'm going to give it one more kind of tighten. You can see how saggy and loose it is. It cannot be loose and saggy. It's got to be nice and tight. So as this is the last one, I want to kind of ease on it. Making sure that...
no snaps happen.
Yeah, that's right.
That'd be unfortunate.
That's Josh here.
Zach.
Zach here, my partner. I know so well.
Call me Josh.
I was saying. And
the camera saw me though, they know who
yeah,
I am.
I can't say I'm good at multitasking. So now that that's there, I really still think that's too loose. I know that that's too loose. So I'm going to take this off, tighten it a bit more so that it's nice and tight, kind of like these. And that's that.
Money.